So let's say I have data like this where I have brand, I have an item, I have price, I have quantity, and I have the amount. And brand, I'll put right. Now, if you were to get a grand total, okay, of how much the price would be, how would you do it?
Will auto sum the price.
No, but each is a different quantity, right? So I have 10 pieces of Apple laptop, 20 pieces of Dell laptop. So what is the total price?
First, we'll divide the quantity
No, this
from
is
the price.
Price per quantity, per item. For each laptop, it is 1,40,000.
Yeah, so then multiply. We will multiply it with quantity.
Right. Then
And
we'll multiply this with this.
Yes.
And then drag it, right?
Yes, drag it and then make it a auto sum of the total amount.
Okay. Now, if your objective is just auto sum, objective is just to get the grand total, then there is an easier way out, which is called as sum product. What does a sum product do? Sum product is a function where you have an array like this. This is called an array, series of numbers. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Then I have another series of the quantity. And that's it.
Okay. Okay.
Like I said, what is your objective? If your objective is to get individual amount for each brand and item, then you have to do it the way we did it before. If your objective is to get the grand total, then you can achieve it by getting this.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood. Yes.
Now, I want to know, let's say I have some more items here. Now, I want to know the total of all the Apple brands. How much is the total amount for Apple? So how many do I have of Apple here? 1 and 2.
Yes.
So that is a conditional sum. That is why we call it as sum if.
Okay.
Now for sum if, we have to first specify a range. Then we have to give a criteria as to what do I need. I need apple.
Mhm.
And then some range is what I need here.
Okay.
And then I say, okay. So it tells me the total value of Apple products in this bill is this.
Sir, but Apple. Okay. 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 Understood. Yes. Yes. Can you just go to the FX once again?
Yes.
Criteria it has selected as G49.
Yeah. Which is this? The word Apple here.
Okay.
I didn't type the word Apple. I just let it choose the apple from there.
We have to write it, right?
I can write it by hand also. Same thing.
Okay.
I can either write it by hand, or if it is written somewhere, like I can point here also. This is also Apple.
Yes. Yes.
So the total works out to this amount
Plus
plus,
this amount.
yeah, which is,
Same. Yeah.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I want to know Apple, and let's try this out. Okay. Now why I chose this one first is, I'll tell you one more. I'll just go back and modify this to what it was. Now, just to test it out, let's say I want HP. System will automatically calculate it. Now see, HP is this one and
This one.
this one. 1904. See, 1904. Right?
Yeah.
Now, let's say I want HP and I want laptop. HP as well as laptop. That means more than one condition. So it's a plural. So that is why I will use the condition sum if S.
Okay.
So in this case, the sum range has to be provided first. From where will I sum it? Criteria range. The first criteria range is this. From where I am getting HP. Then the second criteria range is my items. From where I am getting laptop.
Okay.
So HP and laptop, two things. HP, this is desktop. HP, this is laptop. And the laptop one is 1332, which is what is here. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, just like we did this, for sum, there is a function for count also. So count has different functions. Count if s, count blank, count a, count. The simple count will count the number of numbers. See, here it is saying 0, but we know it's not 0.
Yes.
So what is it doing? The simple count will only count the number of numbers.
Okay. That
Okay.
means, yeah, that means total cell number of what you input.
Number of cells that have numbers.
Okay.
So if I look at this, there are 10 items here. But remember, it can only count numbers.
Yes.
The count.
That means it will not be able to count the letters, right?
Letters, correct. For that, you have something called as count A.
Okay.
That is alphabets.
So you have to write like this, count numbers, count letter, like this, we have to do it.
No, this is just for your explanation. Otherwise, you will write it like this. Count A from this number to this number.
Okay.
This is just to explain. Otherwise, later on, when you look at the recording, you will be wondering what is there.
Understood.
So next one is count blank. This will count the number of blank cells. 3 here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
Clear? So this will count blank. That will count letter. That will count numbers. Next one. We have done 3. Count if. Count if will, just like sum if, will look at a range.
Okay.
So let's say count, which meets the condition apple. So there are 2 cells that have the word apple in them.
It is to identify 2 identical names, right?
Correct. I count the values basically. You give a condition and it will check if the condition, basically you give a text and or a value and system will check how many cells have that value.
Okay, this will be applicable for the alphabets as well?
Yes, I just counted apple, Dell, right?
Yeah, and what about the numbers?
Okay, now let's try numbers. Count if is the range. What value do I want counted? 140. Okay.
Understood.
So it's a plural now. So in plural, you have to give the criteria range where it is, let's say 140. Second criteria range is, let's say item. And I say Apple. See,
I didn't understand, sir, this one.
so here, what are we doing? This is COUNTIFS, right? So what will COUNTIFS do? It will look at multiple conditions or criteria.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say I have this COUNTIFS, which will have, this is the range and criteria is Apple, and this is the range, criteria is, let's say laptop. Clear?
So laptop, there are 4 laptops written in the item.
Yes.
So it is considering same thing as one.
No, it is looking at Apple laptop.
Okay. Understood.
See, now this Apple laptop value has changed to 2 because I modified this. Now there are 2 Apples which have laptops. Got it?
Got it.
Let's say I add a third condition here. What happened? Apple, laptop, and 140,000. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, this is usually not how a price list looks like. Let's say if I were to make a price list out of this, see, I have these duplicate values, right?
Yes.
How do I get the unique values? I can use a formula for unique, like unique. Oops. Why is it not there? Vary from version to version. This one is not working. In some versions,
Okay.
I don't know if they have discontinued it. There was a function to get the unique values.
Okay.
Let me just check if they have renamed it to something else. Or maybe I'm giving the wrong name. Okay, this one is not here. So let me just do this. And we have this remove duplicates. If you remember, there is the remove duplicates.
Yes.
So it will remove the duplicates. And this is in a column. How do I get it in a row? You got my question?
Yes, I got it. No idea. It's to copy paste and do it. That's the
Yes,
way
copy paste. Then come here wherever you want it. Go to paste. There is a transpose option.
Transpose. Yes, yes, yes.
So by
Like
doing
this,
it will.
this I do on regular basis. Transpose.
Okay. So now you have the price. So the advantage of this one is you have it written only once. You don't have it repeated, right? Like we had in the previous table, we had to keep repeating the brand and the item every time.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, let's say I want the price of Apple phone. How will I get it?
You want the total of the phone, right? Total amount.
No, I want the price from here, the price. This is the price of individual item. Apple laptop costs 140,000, phone costs 145,000,
Yeah.
desktop costs 150,000. So I want the cost of Apple phone.
Yeah. So this is 1,45,000.
Okay. Now, if I have a long list, will I still look it up?
No.
How will I do it?
Hmm.
I will use the famous, infamous Vlookup.
Okay.
So what do I want to do?
So
I want,
we can also choose filter option and take it out, like
if you
that
have
is
two,
also.
now filter will only work on this.
Yes.
Suppose I want it somewhere else. Will you still do filter?
No.
Suppose I want it on another sheet.
Yeah. No, that's not possible.
So for that, we will use what we call as Vlookup. Vlookup is basically, we are looking up the value of Apple from this table.
Hmm.
So what does a Vlookup function need? First, it needs the lookup value. What am I looking up? I'm looking up Apple. From where? So from the table array. Table array meaning the entire table with the word Apple in the leading column.
Okay.
And column index number meaning, now this table has 3 columns other than the brand. In which column am I looking it up? The phone column.
Hmm.
And what is the number of that phone column? Assuming this is column number 1, this is column number 2, this is column number 3.
Yes.
So I'll say 3.
Yeah.
And range lookup, by default, it is true, omitted. So which means, I can also make it false. So it will be an exact match basically. So if there are any variations in spelling, it will not accept it.
But why did you add it as false, sir? I mean, what is the...
Because false means here, if you look at the explanation here, to find an exact match. Suppose somebody writes by mistake apply. Is that acceptable?
No.
It will not be acceptable. But if I make it true, system will give me the nearest value.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
So that is why we use false, to ensure that it is exactly matching what I want. If somebody makes a mistake, it will return not available.
Okay.
Clear?
Clear.
Now let's try this out. Let's change Apple to Samsung. And if it is phone, what value should we get?
1,48,000. Sorry, 1,47,000.
1,47,000. We got this here.
Yeah.
Let's try another one. Lenovo. Wow, that's working. Only
There is
thing
another
here.
way.
Sorry.
Yeah, there is another way of doing VLOOKUP, right? We have to do it manually, like entering the formula and do it.
This is what we did, right?
Yes. Okay, okay.
The same thing. Probably I didn't give you a introduction to VLOOKUP and then tell you it is VLOOKUP.
That's okay.
Right?
Yes, yes, yes.
But have you understood the concept of VLOOKUP here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, here so far it was phone. Now let's say I have this again as Lenovo and I make it as desktop. Okay, instead of Lenovo, let's make it HP. Now you tell me, how will I do the VLOOKUP?
First, we'll go for equal to VLOOKUP. And yeah, fx will open. We will take the whole table in lookup value.
No, lookup value means what I am looking up, which is what is in the thing called HP. Right.
Yes. Table array, we will select the whole table. No, we'll take the brand, laptop and phone, desktop as well.
Yeah, no, we'll not take the header row. Okay.
Okay, fine. Then we'll select the what we are checking. We are checking desktop, so we will write down 4.
Okay.
Column number, and range lookup will be false.
Is it matching what we want? It is.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Clear now?
Clear.
So let's try this out by changing this. Let's make it Dell. Wow, it works.
Yes.
Now, everything looks good. Only catch here is I'm having to manually put in the laptop, phone, or the desktop column number. Now, wouldn't it be great if we can make that come automatically?
Okay.
So for that also, there is a function. And what function is that? Function will return the position of the word desktop, phone, laptop by using a function called match. Match gives me the position.
Okay.
Now you tell me lookup value. I want the column number, right? So what will be my lookup value?
Desktop number 4.
Okay, good.
Lookup array will be the table.
No, in this case, it will be the entire row only. Rest of them don't have.
Okay, so in this, the header will be selected.
Correct. Because
Okay.
I only want the column number, right?
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
interested in the value.
yes.
And match type, there are three options. 1, 0, -1. We go with 0. 0 means it's an exact match.
Okay.
So it tells me the position is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is exactly what we said here, 4.
Yes.
So all I have to now do is, in my VLOOKUP, I have to use that match formula, and then I can just dynamically get it.
Okay.
So if I now use VLOOKUP again, look up what? Look up this. From where? From this. And I need the column index number. So for that, I will use match formula inside a formula by looking up desktop. From where? From here. And see, now these three options come up. 0 is exact match. Then I will close this bracket. And I still have one parameter to go, which is exact match. So now see the beauty of this. I want a laptop. I don't need to touch the formula at all. Dell laptop is 1,41,000. That is what I get here. Very confusing.
No, it's not. It's nice. Nice. Good. It's a nice thing. I mean, you can
Yes,
use formula inside the formula.
absolutely. Please use these in your work. No matter initially you might have to struggle because you're trying something new.
Yeah.
But it will, over a period of time, it will give you confidence. It will save a lot of your time. And slowly you will get that in your mind also, and you will be able to work pretty efficiently.
Yes. So match is actually to identify the column, right?
Correct. Column number.
Okay.
Sorry. Now see, this table array, every time we had to select it, isn't it? Another way to do this is, if you remember, initially we had selected and renamed it. First day, we said you can name it like this. Let's say my data. Then whenever I am referring to these formulas here, let's say I have another one here. Let's say Apple and phone. Let's try this from scratch. So VLOOKUP, right?
Yes.
Now tell me, what am I looking up? What is my lookup value?
Phone.
No, Apple, because that is the leading column, right?
Yes. So Apple. Next is the table. We have to select the table.
Now, in place of selecting this, what I can do is I can type the name.
Okay.
It's much easier. I don't need to remember.
Okay.
Then match.
Match.
I can do the same thing with match also. I can give it a name also, header one, my header, or something like that. Or for now, let me just do this, or let me do this and then do it. Then it will be then we will be uniform. Let's say my header, my table head. So then when I'm doing the VLOOKUP, look up what? Apple. From
Apple.
where? From my
data.
data.
Yeah, then we'll go for match.
Good.
And we'll select my data head or what
No,
name.
first is lookup value. What
Lookup
when
value.
I look up? I look up phone.
Phone, yes.
From where? From my
From
table head.
my table head, yes.
And it has to be
Then
an exact match.
that match. And then we'll put the false.
Perfect. There, you got it. Very hard.
Oh, we have to
Confusing.
practice.
Yes.
It is interesting to practice it. Otherwise,
Yes. Please practice. And try to do this kind of thing. Suppose you're doing two table comparisons. It's very easy. Like, and you can do this VLOOKUP across sheets. You know that, right?
yes.
So you can have the data here. So let's say I have something like this here. Okay. I have another sheet here and I have two lists. So I can VLOOKUP, look up what? This. From where? From my data. Column index number is 1. Because over there brand is in number 1 position.
Yes.
Range lookup exact.
Yes.
So it will return me the value. Here I can add a if condition. If VLOOKUP, I am looking this up from that table, right? Equal to this. Then I will say data exists. Else I will say data mismatch or data does not exist. Let's try this out. I'll intentionally make a spelling mistake.
Okay.
So what happened? It tried to look it up. See, this is false, right? So if it is false, it will give me null value.
Yeah.
For that also, I have another one. If error or if NA. Got it?
No, I could. No, sir. I want to go again for this.
Okay. What did we say? We said exact match is VLOOKUP is false. Now here
Yes.
this came up as apply. So that will not match with Apple.
Absolutely.
So it returns a not available error, NA error. So, and in this we have a formula for if which says if error, then return the word data mismatch.
Okay.
If it matches, then don't do anything. So you can do this right next to it also.
Okay.
Now, if I drag this,
Okay.
let's say in the source, we come and make this as DELL. But if I make this as true,
Okay.
so when I say true, it stays, there is no error, but it is not matching with the value that I have.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah. This is like giving an expression to the cell, right?
Correct, correct. Suppose you have two lists where you're doing a date comparison, name comparison, date of birth comparison, or number of consignment comparison. You can quickly do this.
Or maybe there are two sheets has two different sort of names, so you have to figure out the correct one.
That's a very popular reason for using Vlookup.
Yeah.
Another place that we have this is date of birth. Suppose you have PF. PF date of birth is different from the company record. Now, either you have to get the PF data changed or you have to change your company record, depending on which one is accurate. If you have 200 records, 2000 records, just do a quick match.
Yeah. Understood.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Let me show you another one. Between the GST depends on whether the transaction is between the buyer and the seller from the same state or from a different state. And how is that state determined? The state is determined from the GST number.
Okay.
And what does GST number have that gives us a clue about the state? The first two digits of GST number indicate the state.
Okay.
Like in West Bengal, it is 19. You will see all companies who are registered in West Bengal have a GST code of starting with 19.
Okay.
Karnataka could be 26. Mumbai could be something else. Maharashtra could be, not Mumbai, Maharashtra. Odisha could be 16 or whatever, depending on the state and the code given by the government.
Okay.
Okay. So here in this Excel sheet, we have tried to replicate the invoice scenario. There is a company called ABC Electronics, and their GST is this. Okay. A customer comes to their store to buy. Customer could be, let's say, Cooper Electronics, also from West Bengal. Let's say Kolkata, and they have the same code as 19. Now the salesperson gets the drop down like this. he picks up the brand that they are buying and the item, and the system calculates the price. All he has to do is key in the quantity. So let's say the initial one is blank. Okay. So system, what it will do, 144,000. Since it is from the same state, system has done SGST and CGST. IGST is 0. Now, besides the Samsung desktop, Cooper also buys Apple mobile. Oh gosh, the formula got wiped off actually. The price of that is 72,000. He bought 3. Again, the formula got wiped off. See, this NA comes. To avoid this NA, what we have done, we have said if error. So next, we go to Apple again, to this, let's say Sony, and he bought a Sony laptop, 45,000. He bought 10 of those. So system did 45,000 into 10, added this up. This is the interim total. Then 9%, another 9%, and the grand total. Did you see this? Notice this. When I opened the sheet, the date got automatically updated.
Yes, I saw that. Even the time also got updated.
Yes. And it will keep updating so long as I am using this sheet. Now, this price, where is it coming from?
It is coming from another sheet.
Yes. This is my price list. So if I say this is the salesperson doing it, he doesn't need to do anything. All he needs to do is put in the customer name, choose the brand, choose the item, and enter the quantity. System will do the rest of it.
Yeah.
Clear? Let me show you how I did this. First, let's look at the SGST. Is it understandable?
What is left, sir?
What did we do in left? Oh my, I closed that one. Cha. No, it's left. What was left?
Okay, understood.
We did this yesterday only.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was not able to relate it to, this formula, like here, what
This is
is
the
the
application
significance?
of what we did yesterday actually. Now
Okay,
relate it and you will be able to make out what we did.
okay.
So left C4. What is C4? It is the GST number of the store. And what is C8? C8 is the GST number of the customer.
Yes.
So I'm taking the first two characters and checking whether they are the same or not.
Okay.
If they are same, then we do 9% of this total, which is this F19. Else it is false. That means if those two are not the same, then it is false.
Those two, in the sense, those two GST numbers.
Not the whole, first two digits.
Okay.
That's why left, right?
But sir, how it is signifying left? I mean, it is taking by default two numbers
No,
from the left.
I specified comma 2, right?
Okay. Okay. Got it.
If I didn't specify anything, what would have happened? It would have taken one digit, default is 1.
Yes.
Now, this is SGST. Same will hold for CGST also. Got it?
Yes.
What about IGST now? IGST we said is interstate. And interstate will mean what? Two different states.
Yes.
So their
But it is
GST numbers will be different.
Yes.
So how will I indicate different numbers? In place of 19, if I make it 29, see immediately I get SGST 0, CGST 0, IGST is 145,800. How did that come? If first two digits are not the same, that is false.
Yeah.
Then I get this.
The percentage value should be entered manually, right?
No, here I have put it in the formula. Normally what we would do is, if to make it more generic, I could have another thing here, like and then in my formulas, I will refer to the, in place of 9% entering by hand, I will refer to this.
Cell number.
My thing remains the same. Make this 19. Right?
Yes.
You're not sounding very convincing.
No, I am. I think
I'll
I
open
need
this
to.
up. Just try this out from your side once.
Should I open my
Yes.
sheet and do?
Yes. Try this out in your sheet. Try this out. I'll pause the recording.
Okay.
Or if you want to share, you can share also.